What is an art patron? An art patron is simply someone who funds the arts, but there are many ways to do this. So today I want to talk about one of the less known yet most effective models. The hardest thing about being an artist is the inconsistency of income. You can't budget any kind of future if you don't know what you're making. So I've lived that for the past 12 years and it's driven me a bit insane. But luckily, thanks to just my first 3 patrons at Patreon, I'm already sleeping a little bit easier. They picked the highest tiers, so I just can't be more thankful and, yes, much less stressed already. Well, so what is Patreon? Patreon makes funding the arts an affordable endeavor for anybody through the crowdfunding method. So Patreon is essentially a crowdfunding platform for artists. And I found this, well, I've fought this for years. I tried not to go this method. I tried to just go strictly through sales, but I've become more and more keen to this idea as I've realized this is actually a more traditional method, and it's not any kind of like weird new sleazy gimmick that maybe it comes off as sometimes when you first hear about it. Like I know some people may have gotten that impression if they heard me or somebody else talking about Patreon and you don't really understand what it is. So it's really quite ingenious. It's the same way that everyone chipping in can fund a cool new gadget or something like that on GoFundMe or whatever these other ones are. If all of my supporters basically were to say pitch in, the lowest tier I have right now is at $6 per month. That's basically the cost of a cup of coffee per month. And if everyone on my mailing list did that right now, I would have enough funding for all of my current projects and future big dreams that I'm dying to create and do and implement those ideas. But I've been a bit stunted in some regards as far as funding. So yeah, and then also, I mean, this is actually for the price of one of my 13 by 19 G clay prints annually. You're actually, if you were to buy one of those once a year, you can fund me per month, for less than that. So for less than that 13 by 19 print that you see in my shop, you could be funding me per month, and you would actually get benefits. You would still get art, and you would get all this other cool content that I am adding to the platform. Lots of behind the scenes stuff, and sharing myself and my process with you, and hoping to hear from you as well. I'm really hoping that I can connect with my supporters through this channel. So what I want to do with this video is take away any of your ideas that you may have about this being some kind of sleazy con. The whole Patreon thing. It's really not. It's how Leonardo da Vinci funded all of his dreams and all of his ideas. That's how he had the leisure to think about things like engineering and creating these epic sculptures and paintings and just all of his creativity. It all comes down to patrons like the Medici family. So that's just part of art history. Actually, if you think about it, this is one of the oldest models known. In fact, there is no known beginning to the patron model. It just kind of goes back as far as we can find, and certainly it reached its height during the Renaissance. And quite fitting that I call myself on my business card artist/Renaissance man, because I am so inspired by people who are multidisciplined, and that's kind of what I aim to do with my art and with my work in general. So it's quite fitting then that this is the kind of model that would work for me, and I think that it's gonna prove to help. I only have a few supporters so far, and it's already proving to be so much of a relief. But I certainly need more to get where I want to be and where I need to be if I'm going to perform my best work. And the more you can free me up to stop chasing the next dollar, the more I can focus on those big ideas that will help shift culture and the vibration of this world to a more peaceful, unified, and harmonious vibration. And that is certainly what I aim to do in my life and everything, especially in my artwork. So I think I've made a case for it at this point, but I wanted to just touch base with you and let you know what my ideas are and how I see this, and maybe I can help enlighten anybody who's on the fence about this or thinks that this isn't some kind of legitimate way to support an artist and way to just do that, to do it in a way that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, well, I'll just pay you when I get a piece of art. Well, sure, you can do that. In fact, if you want to do that in addition to this, that's even better. But what's most needed for me and just about any artist probably, I would say, is that steady monthly income. And so I would rather you pay that same once a year G-Clay print and spread that out over months. So, because if all of you do that, it will create that revenue source, that steady flow, and yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to do. You know, once I reach the $250 per month first goal I am releasing my first ebook on sacred geometry, Intro to Sacred Geometry. And I'm already almost there, which is the first 3 because they pick the highest tiers. So that blows me away. I'm just so thankful and so amazed by that. Definitely not expecting that. So now I'm just hoping that other people can kind of pick up the slack, pitch in a little bit, and if we can get some of you at that $6 per month tier, you know, if you could part with one Starbucks per month, or just look at it like paying it forward to a print that you will get. I do give out gifts at the end of the year, so check out those tiers. I'm also willing to, you know, if you say, hey man, I'd really like one of those larger prints done. You know, I'm not very strict about this. I just started this thing, so I'm open to changing it up. So I'm actually look very much forward to anybody's constructive criticism if they have any ideas for what or if they have an idea like, hey man, if you do this, I'm in, right? Like, let me know what it would take to make this a no-brainer and unbeatable deal for you for $6 per month if I haven't already offered that in the tiers. So check them out, and look forward to seeing you on the other side.